Hey everyone, I'm just sitting here with my sketchbook. I thought I'd do my Q&A video, and instead of just answering the questions while just staring at the camera, I figured I'd do something productive while I answer the questions. So I'm just gonna do some figure sketches. Hey, so I was editing this video and I want to mention that this isn't going to be a video with a lot of things going on. So if you just want to play it, just to play it on the background, clean or do dishes, do the laundry while you listen, but it's not going to be a lot of action going on the screen. All of these questions are going to be anonymous, but just to make my life easy, I'm just going to say they're all from someone named Ezra. So first question from Ezra. Are there any mediums that interest you or you would like to explore more? The mediums that interest me the most are like watercolors, pen and ink, markers sometimes. Mediums that I want to explore more would probably be gouache. Next question is from Ezra. Ezra asks, is there a specific style of art that interests you the most? Illustrations and like animation, like the illustrations that are used in like children's books. I also like anime, so that gives me inspiration. And like classic animated movies, old school classic paintings, Frida Kahlo's stuff, and Vincent van Gogh. So Ezra says, you really seem to have come into your style and the work you've been producing has been great. Thank you, Ezra. What has that journey been like for you? I've been drawing since I was a little kid. The point where I really got really focused on doing art was probably in high school. I took 4 years of art in high school, took AP art portfolio. I got a 3 on my portfolio, and I wish that I had the resources that a lot of kids have who are in high school now. There's so many videos now of like people showing you what types of things they had in their portfolio and what got them to get a 5 and things like that. And I would have had a better grasp of the types of things I would need in my portfolio to get a 5 on the AP. And now I'm seeing so many people are getting 5s and we're doing the type of style art that I do, and it's like, oh, well, I wish I had this when I was in high school, but I digress. Only recently after graduating I've got back into doing art or getting more serious and like, you know, opening an online store, getting more out there. Yeah. That's supposed to be an umbrella, but it looks like a hat. You see that? That looks like a hat. Alright, next question from Ezra. How has your practice changed over time? I guess I'm trying to be more conscious on how often I draw. Like if I feel like I haven't drawn anything, sketched anything in like a week or two, I'm like, I just have to do something. Otherwise I'm gonna feel like, oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm not progressing in any way. So I'm more making an effort to practice. Alright, next question from, you guessed it, Ezra. What art do you identify most with? Illustrations, colorful things with plants, semi-realistic art. What themes do you pursue? Asks Ezra. Themes. I try to draw different types of body types, skin tones. Like most of my illustrations aren't really like focused on any type of subject or anything. Like most of it's just like presenting different bodies in a beautiful way. My pens are very influenced by political things going on or social justice and like witches. I guess I identify a lot of my themes as witches and like occult things, just things that some people would call not conservative or whatever. Yeah, that's a good answer. That's a good question. Thanks, Ezra. Next question from Ezra. Is the artist life lonely? Not really for me. I'm already someone who likes to spend time alone. Art is also a really good way of like connecting with other people. So I don't really feel alone because of my art ever. What do you do to counteract it? I don't feel lonely, but if I did, I would probably just go out and meet other artists and talk to them, connect with them, and just hanging out. That would be the easiest way to counteract this. So just like go to events, art focus events in your cities, go to, if there's conventions, go to that. Even just participating online in art communities, because there's lots of art communities out there. Like there's the YouTube art community, Instagram, Twitter, they're all over the place. You just gotta look for them. Ezra asks, professionally, what is your goal? Really just to build up a following so that people can look at the things I do on this channel, or just to get inspiration. Like, yeah, my goal is really just to create stuff and share what I create with people. Look at that hip. She got I'm giving her a donk. Alright, next question from Ezra. Do you do any other art besides drawing, like writing, music, script? Don't do any music, don't do any writing. I kind of want to try making resin like charms and stuff. I made one here, which is pretty. I feel like I'm already at the point where I'm making the things that I want to make, I guess. I do want to make like a art zine and like get them produced, so that's something I want to do. I'm gonna switch to doing portraits. But let's see, Ezra asks, what got you into doing watercolor as your main? I found like a bag of watercolor tubes at the thrift store, played around with them for a while, and then just really got into it. That's how I figured out about gouache. So really it was just that set that I had, and I always liked watercolors when I used it in school. Ezra asks, what's the worst medium you've had to use before, and what is the best and why? Worst medium that I hate using oil paints. I hate how it feels. I hate how it smells. I hate the fact that if I use a brush with oil paints, I have to buy paint thinner to clean my brush. I hate that it takes forever to dry. I don't like it. Like, I'm sorry if you're an oil painter out there. There's lots of oil painters who make beautiful works of art, and I love the art they make. I just do not want to use oil paints ever again. No, I'm good. The best, I'll probably have to say gouache. The fact that you can get it translucent like watercolors, and you can get it to be opaque like acrylics, makes for like really good dynamics when you're creating art. So I'd say gouache is the best medium. Ezra asks, what's your favorite thing to draw and why? People. I like drawing people. I like drawing faces, just different faces, different body shapes. I also like drawing plants, and I like drawing animals. I don't know what's going on with this bro's face. It looks like an evil man. Oh my goodness. Least favorite thing to draw and why? Probably still lifes, I guess. Plants is probably the closest that I would ever get to drawing still lifes. Like drawing things like drawing fruit, drawing just a bunch of objects. Never really enjoyed it. Something I wish I was better at. Painting different types of light. What's the word I'm looking for? Light. Yeah, painting different types of lighting situations. I find it really difficult to show drastic lighting. There's some artists who do it really well, where that someone's sitting in a dark room and there's like one beam of light shining on their face, and the shadows that it creates. Like I always have a hard time showing that with watercolors. This drawing I'm making does not look like her, but it is the same pose, so that is what I'm happy about. Looks like an alien. Alright, next question. Ezra asks, I do believe that anyone can be an artist, skill-wise. Skills are muscle memory. Like all of the being able to use the pencil, being able to use a brush, marker, knowing how much pressure to put on things. That's all muscle memory. Like once you figure it out, once you get the feeling for it, once you practice enough, anyone can do that. I think anyone can have build the muscle memory for artistry skill-wise. Now, the term artist is so subjective. Anyone can be in creative fields, can be an artist, no matter if you're painting or making digital art, traditional art, music, acting, dancing, that's all art. I think everyone has the capability of doing it. However, I don't think a lot of people consider themselves as artists. Even people I view as artists don't consider themselves as artists because of society. They feel like if they aren't making income from doing art, then they aren't an artist, which is absolute bullshit. Capitalism has made it so that if you aren't making money from art, you aren't technically an artist. That's not what an artist is. A lot of the classic painters didn't make any money from their art when they were alive. Their art was bought after the fact. They considered themselves artists, so even though they weren't making any income from what they were doing, they still kept at it. So I don't think you have to make any money from art to be an artist. Not making money as art, so you're not an artist thing, like really messes up with people's minds. Like especially parents, like they'll flip out if a kid tells them they want to be an artist when they grow up, or just like downplay it. Like a kid is so excited about doing art and tells their parent, and parents just like, yeah, you can do art as a hobby, but try to find something else too. And it's like to automatically make someone, a little kid who's interested in doing art, to automatically make them think that they need to put art on the back burner is just doing them more harm than good. Because no one can tell the future. You don't know what the kid's gonna do. So like, why be an asshole about it? Basically, that's all I can say. Alright, this is gonna be the last question because my mouth is tired. Ezra asks, when did you realize your artistic talent was therapeutic? Do you struggle at times as an artist when life gets too deep? When is the right time for self-expression? That is 3 questions, but about when did I realize it was therapeutic? Probably in high school. I didn't really have a grand old time in high school, and that's probably why I did so much art. And the art teacher I had in high school was really cool, and she would just like let you sit in her classroom during lunchtime and draw and while you eat your lunch and things like that. So that was always a good support system. Do I struggle at times as an artist when life gets too deep? When I am really depressed, because I do have clinical depression, that's usually when most of my art pieces come out. Usually they stem from some type of moment in my life when I was just down, so I just decided to draw and then felt better afterwards. So, and sometimes I don't feel better afterwards, but even if I don't feel better from what I was upset about or stressing about, I feel better because I took time to make art, basically. And when is the right time for self-expression? Anytime. I'd start as early as possible. That's really all I can say about that. Like, any time is the right time for self-expression. If you're not being yourself, then what's the point? And I do understand there are some times when you can't be yourself in situations. In those situations, try to be as true to yourself as you can be. Don't change the way you think about yourself because of other people. And it is easier said than done, but just try. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please check out my other ones. And then if you like those, you can subscribe if you want. Don't really care if you don't. I'll talk to you later.